Welcome to the President's Diary, a weekly program where we highlight the work of His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali. His Excellency, on the afternoon of Thursday, November 19, met with His Highness Sheikh Ahmed Dalmouk Juma Al Maktoum of the United Arab Emirates and an 8-member delegation who were here on a 3-day state visit.
His Highness Sheikh Ahmed Dalmouk Juma Al Maktoum, who is a member of the ruling family in the United Arab Emirates, and members of his team met several government officials from various ministries. In the initial meeting with President Ali, the UAE team also met members of the cabinet, including Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, the Honorable U. Todd, Minister of Natural Resources, the Honorable Vikram Bharat, Minister of Housing and Water, the Honorable Colin Crowell, Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, the Honorable Susan Rodriguez, Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Zulfikar Mustafa, Minister of Public Works, the Honorable Juan Edgel, and other government officials. Vice President Dr. Bar Jagdeo was also at the initial meeting. The UAE is one of the top oil-producing countries globally and is expected to lend assistance to Guyana in oil and gas, among other areas. The visiting delegation was welcomed by Foreign Minister Todd and other ministers and officials upon their arrival at the Chedi Jagan International Airport.
The head of state on November 19 attended the Guyana Defense Forces anniversary dinner in commemoration of its 55th year in service to the nation. The celebratory event was hosted at the Officers' Mess Base Camp Ayangana. The Commander-in-Chief, in his feature address, told members of the force that systems will soon be in place to facilitate more soldiers being registered in academic programs aligned to the development needs of the country.
The President noted that the milestone celebration should be seen as an opportunity for renewed commitment, loyalty, spirit, and the collective energies in ensuring that the next 55 years and beyond could be celebrated, knowing that national development was at the forefront.
For me, you're the embodiment of professionalism. And I think this is where we need to start. The Army must always be the face of professionalism, the face of dignity and pride, the face through which any citizen of our country can turn to and be assured that there lies their face of protection, their face of comfort, knowing that in Guyana we have a professional army with professional officers and leaders ready to make the ultimate sacrifice for country and people.
President Ali also pointed to the importance of collective awareness and knowledge of the country's development trajectory, as well as the factors that pose a threat to its overall development.
We can only develop that, we can only defend that development trajectory if we are aware of where the country is going, if we are aware of the development that lies ahead. We have to be aware not only of the economic prosperity that lies ahead, we have to be aware of every single sector. We have to be aware of our threats. Climate change, an important aspect of future management. And climate change is a threat. And we have to be aware of the impact it can have on our country.
Further, the head of state said the Army should also play a role in the oil and gas sector.
It is important that within the Army we have experts in oil and gas related disasters. It is important we have experts in climate change. It is important we have experts in GIS mapping. And I say all of this because the government has a responsibility to help to prepare you to be ready for the environment in which you're aware of. This brings me to the point of equipping. We have to equip the Army not only physically, but we have to equip the Army human resource capacity.
The President disclosed that an aggressive program aimed at ensuring more Army officers are registered in academic programs that are aligned to the country's development needs has already been discussed with the Chief of Staff.
President Ali said the joint services will also benefit from the 20,000 scholarships which will be offered over the next 5 years.
I am of the view, and I've started to implement this, that the Army has tremendous potential that is underutilized and that should be integrated in the development of our country. And as far as possible, at every level, I would endeavor to have your participation in the advancement of our country, from the community level to the highest level. You have tremendous human resource potential that I'm going to tap in as Commander-in-Chief.
President Ali reminded those gathered that regardless of where executive power lies, it is their right as citizens to participate in the country's development process. He urged the soldiers to take part in the national development drive.
So I believe very strongly that together we have to, not we should, we have to build a solid partnership, a solid team. And that partnership has one underlying goal: the protection of our country, the advancement of our country, and the development of the citizens of Guyana. Once we all subscribe to these noble aspirations in service, I think we can all hold our heads high and know that we have done our bit.
On Friday, November 20, day 2 of an official state visit, His Excellency and His Highness Sheikh Ahmed Dalmouk Juma Al Maktoum of the United Arab Emirates attended Friday prayers at the Queenstown Masjid in Georgetown. Early in the day, President Ali and His Highness Sheikh Ahmed Dalmouk Juma Al Maktoum and his delegation held discussions at the office of the President. Members of Cabinet and other government officials also participated in the meeting, which included discussions on various sectors.
On the occasion of World Children's Day, also on Friday, November 20, His Excellency in an address noted that every child is entitled to be nurtured in a healthy, protective and supportive environment that allows for the realization of the fullness of his or her potential.
We all have a duty to ensure such an environment is cultivated for our children. World Children's Day, observed each year on the 20th of November, challenges us to reimagine a better future for our children. The foundation for a better tomorrow must be built on promoting greater respect for and enforcement of children's rights, providing adequate protection and care, and strengthening children's education.
President Ali said his government is committed to promoting the rights of every child. He noted that Guyana has enacted key pieces of legislation relevant to child care and child protection.
The protection and care of our children must be a foremost priority. We propose to establish more child care programs and centers. More daycare centers will be established for children of employed mothers. These will relieve mothers of the burdens of having to find persons to take care of their children while they're at work. To support these initiatives, the core of child care providers and protectors will be trained.
Dr. Ali added that childcare and protection must become the responsibility of everyone in our society. Government, he noted, acknowledges the importance of childcare services provided by private individuals, groups and non-governmental organizations. He said his government will incentivize and provide support to those who provide such services.
The pandemic, unfortunately, has disrupted the provision of some of these services. We are, however, confident that we'll eventually see the remission of the pandemic and restoration of normalcy. The pandemic has adversely affected our children's lives. For the greater part of this year, our schools have been closed. The social restrictions which have been implemented, however, ought not to foreclose on opportunities for learning. We have begun to expand these opportunities for children's learning.
Education, Dr. Ali said, remains a key element of the administration's plan to ensure a better future for our children. He noted that government has also, in a measured manner and with due regard to our children's safety, reopened schools for students of grades 10, 11 and 12. Guyana is a signatory to international agreements such as the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of the Child and the Convention on the Rights of the Child.
This has been the President's Diary, where we took a look at His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali's week of activities. Thanks for watching. Join us again next week.